Hello, everyone. This is Friedrich bringing you another War in the Pacific Admiral Edition turn resolution. We are looking at March 5, and as usual, pardon me, hoping for a quiet turn, just allowing me a chance to build up and prepare some counters here. So here's some anti-submarine action by Pearl. It's been a while since this has been the first action of the game of the turn, and I guess let's go back to where it all began. So, all right, moving on. All right. So the I-169 is out patrolling off of Luganville. Good to know. So I don't know if they spotted us or if we decided not to fire torpedoes, but wow. Look at that. That's nuts. I don't I can appreciate the anti-submarine coverage there, the screens. That's intense. All right, so what are we gonna do now? Potentially, he's coming out to prepare for what? An invasion of Billiton, maybe some of these other islands, Java itself, maybe. I'm gonna push through here. These guys don't stand a chance. They may last just because they're so tiny and hard to hit, and it's a night action. But I'm just gonna move on here. And they were sunk. They only took 2 shell hits each. I mean, I didn't want to take forever, and I'd like to know how much of their ammunition they used up, but it might not have been that much. All right, our minesweepers here are. I have them on ASW patrol. They're not great at it, but also hopefully they're uh, forcing them to launch waste torpedoes and also just keep the submarines busy. So, okay. Similarly, in a group of 4 PT type boats here. Um, I'm not sure where this is. 5293. I didn't get a chance to see the actual hex. I'm guessing somewhere in the vicinity of off the coast of Sumatra. Maybe it's Billiton itself. I can't remember where these were, but I'm gonna get move on here. So these cruisers and destroyers either used up their ammunition or we sped off and got away, and it was Billiton. So all right, the Dutch 019. I believe we had this set up to set up mines in Miri, and he decided to take a shot at a cargo ship. So, hey, why not, right? I One torpedo doesn't seem like it's enough to sink a full size AK. So, all right, I believe that indicates we're about to enter air phase. Okay, naval movement phase. Uh, actually, to be corrected. So one hit. We'll look at the damage and see if it's time to go back and repair. It looks like we're doing surface action, and sometimes these AKs, when they fire back, the commander decides that he's fine uh, living for another day. It's possible I need to check all my commanders and replace them, but right now I'm trying to use my. I'm okay with the commander that I have for the moment because I'd rather work on freeing up units for future action. So that's where I'm using my points, my what is it in operations something, the points that allow you to do some of those actions. All right. I don't know why it eludes me, but anyway, command points. I don't know. Okay, so the bombing at Cagayan continues. We're holding on by a thread there. All right, now he's got a cap, and that's fine. We can stop bombing that. He's tired of seeing those bombers. So we're getting shot up. We may not make it back. I mean, those 3 destroyed. I'm gonna guess 5 or 6. All right. He either doesn't have fighters anymore or he's not flying cap here. We hit one of his non-combat squads there. We're taking pictures there. That hex, that's between, yeah, right in here. Looks like I don't see anything here. I'm not sure what that means. It could just be until the whole thing is over, I'm not going to see what the planes took a picture of. And Bellic popping. He's softening up. I'm guessing this is his next main objective. And we're bombing Milne Bay. It's fine. I just left it on because, you know, anytime we can do some damage, make him waste supplies for fixing his stuff, you know, it's a good day. Okay, I heard a ship sink. I'm fairly certain it's not ours, or we would see the name here. So I have no idea who it is or what it is that we sank there. All right, it's deliberate attack here, Gagayan. Again, I have no expectations. So let's go. Okay, captured. We're pulling out. Some guys are surrendering. I don't blame them. They're tired and hungry. So now Malay Belay will be overstacked with no supplies. That's going to be, and all these destroyed. I mean, they're not even damaged, so that they can absorb some hits here at Malay Belay. It's going to be, Mindanao is basically done. All right, here we got this mountain hex. This core is still clinging by a thread. So we're not doing hardly anything, but we are tying up some units here. We're just bombarding at this time. Mainly, it's just to keep him honest, and if we do some disruption or other damage, we'll take that as well. So 1 squad disabled. That's not very much, but okay. Already expansions. You know what? I'll take this type of turn. I'll take a few of these, please. TF 1377 is my opponent, and I would be more than happy if he would allow this to continue for a few more months. All right. There's not going to be much to discuss here. A lot of it's same old, but we'll look at some losses and talk about my near future plans, I think. All right, be right back. Okay, so our bombardment group is heading up here. They had to refuel, so I think they had some ops that like a third of their ops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm thinking they move about 9. I think that's ludicrous speed because this is, I mean, I didn't think these were fast battleships at 22, and this says 6.3. Um, I'm not sure if that means 6 plus 3. I thought it was this is the speed at which you're going if you do, as long as you're doing mission speed and you don't want to launch into your objective. It was just kind of 3 in the AM and 3 in the PM. But he's moving, this group is moving about, I think, 9 per turn. So I need to get these carriers heading back up here, which I plan to do. But that means also that I'm going to have to start moving this in, because what that means is, let's just take a look. 24, that's 3 turns. In 3 turns, we'll be bombarding Midway. I'm thinking it'll be more like 4, but this guy, who moves for sure 6 per turn, is 15 away. So I guess we got 2.5 turns. So what I'll do is I mean, this guy's too far behind. I wish he was closer, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just gonna start moving in, right? So because I think as soon as my battle, I don't know, maybe I'll do something a bit different here. Let's stop and think about this for a second. So I could always bring the battleship. I mean, I don't have to warp in there, right? So let's do something a little bit different. And let's just beeline them up here. And then when they get up here, remain. This is fine. When they get up here, which might just take a turn and a half or something, I'll look at how far they go this time and see, how many hexes out of 13 that they're gonna to get here, because I may adjust this hex that they're going to be at, bring the carriers up, and have everything just start kind of heading this way. These guys will still be a ways off because they're just chugging along at a sluggish speed. But what's going to be cool, hopefully, is we get ashore, and hopefully in a strong way. I mean, I could always wait till this is here too. Nobody has spotted this yet, and nobody has spotted this. So he doesn't know that I'm coming up here. He doesn't know my carriers are refueling and coming back up. But speaking of which, I'm going to replenish here and then also come up and we're going to, I'll just turn this off and give it independent orders. Replenish. And it looks like it wasn't able to replenish fully. We used up basically all the fuel of this ship, and we will return. We told it to return the same way it came. That should happen. I'll just do it manually because I don't want to sit here and let's see. I'm gonna go out. Just these guys aren't in a hurry to get back. It's fine. They can take their time. So okay, so apparently I'll just do this then, and then this. Yeah, that's fine. It'll take them a couple turns to get back, but that's good. Good for me. It'll just slowly come in safely. Yeah. All right, so let's just dock that. Okay. So yeah, I think we have a game plan ready. The carriers will come up, and maybe next turn the carriers and the battleship are up in this area. We can think then and plan whether they're gonna start heading this way, whether they're gonna loiter, or and I could always bring the carriers to hit this island again pretty hard, and with some air attacks before the battleships slide in. This is 23, so we're still 4 turns away from here. So that's mildly annoying. I thought they were going to make better speed than that, but that is what it is. I before I do anything else, I'm going to stop myself and look here. 5 air-to-air losses, and that was all our bombers over China, 0 for the Japanese, and otherwise 0 for us. So that, I'll take that. Now, one thing I'm very frustrated with is we didn't hit his the base here. We spotted this unit, but we don't know what it's doing. We don't know the size either. So I'm going to do recon again. And what? So this could just be our detection is dropping, so we see only 340. I'm a little bit nervous about my plan to invade, but I think I'm still going to pull the trigger. I'm going to let it do this. Let me see where my battleships are. So they are currently 15 away. And I believe they were somewhere in here. So I don't know, something like 7 away from where they are now. So I think it's going to take 1, 2. What I might do is he doesn't see them yet. So I think it's okay. Looks like he has some kind of spotters sitting here. So I think it's okay if I just push on and get even closer before I and the carriers, just make sure here he doesn't see them. So I think what I'm going to do is keep them here, have the battleships head in more. The carriers are going to have plenty of speed to get in, hit the turn we decide to attack. I just want to make sure I'm not foolishly keeping them out here so that he decides to bring KB down. Right now, hopefully, he's not planning a sudden strike. If he just warped his carriers into here and spotted all this, that could be dangerous for us. And so we've got to be careful what we're going to do here. And this should finish loading this turn. This is the only ship I've got loading in this port. I'm not doing anything else with any of these other task forces because the goal is to get this loaded up and undocked ASAP. And then it's going to probably take 2 turns to get up here, and I don't like that routing because it's going to go up along the coast here. So I think, yeah. So we're just going to go around here in case he has submarines lurking along the coast. And but that means it's going to take 2 turns to get up there. I don't know why this disappeared, but anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, it's going to take 2 turns, but then we will. So here's what I'm thinking. This turn, this will load, finish loading, and maybe even start heading out. This will start moving. This will move some more this way, and then we'll just evaluate how far along our task force is, if it's just left or if it's up here. But if it's close, we'll let the battleship go in and hit this. If it's not, we'll figure all that out next turn. I'm not gonna stress too much about it right now. Um, but yeah, so let's see. I've got to think a little bit about this because I've got to rearrange some of our anti-submarine stuff. Okay, I didn't finish looking at this, by the way. So first I wanted to confirm, yes, they're all SB3s. We will have to turn those off. Let me do that now while I'm thinking of it. So down and stand down. Okay. So that's that. I mean, it's a shame. I don't like losing them. How many pilots did we lose? Only one killed, two captured, I'm guessing, one wounded. So that is a shame because these pilots have been getting really good. What am I looking for? Okay, so let's jump down here to ship sunk and what happened last turn. Okay, yeah, these two British ships, motor launches, were sunk near Billiton. That's that was already on our that was already our understanding. So I haven't. Okay, so usually I just look at what happened last term. It's hard for me to look at all dates because that's like a long list. But the Japanese sinkings have gone up, but it doesn't show it last term. So it's really hard to keep track of what's happening. What am I sinking? So no carriers, none of these huge capitalist ships. We did sink a heavy cruiser, no destroyers, no destroyer escorts, no APD, one transport here by a what is that? A Dutch torpedo, and a lot of these cargo ships, of course. But I don't know. I mean, of course, they have the date here, but I don't know when we were notified. And I guess I could look here in a second. I'll look for someone. This was sunk second day of the war because our carriers came close and bombed it. Here's a tanker, a Japanese tanker, very small two-pointer. Doesn't carry much. It's not a big loss for him. This was a bigger loss, 8,000 capacity. It was sunk near Midway. Okay. Submarines, those are always nice to sink. Got a bunch of these midget submarines and then fleet ones and a rowboat. These, this list, I think we aggressively report sub sinking, and then and then over time it shrinks, and that's kind of sad. A couple of armored merchant cruisers, minesweeper, mine layer, yeah, cruiser mine layer. Now this one was sunk early in. I thought it was early in the war. Maybe I'm misthinking, but that looks like I believe that was a mine, and then this was sunk by a torpedo in the first month of the war. We got this LSD ship. It's a pretty nice one and worth a lot, so I'm happy about that. But what I don't know is what other ships are missing and what, of course, might still yet disappear. But anyway, so that's that. One thing I wanted to do is look at operations report. Sometimes here it says, so see this, Koryu Maru is reported to have been sunk near Kompong Trak on December 11, 1941. So early in the war, we're finally just now learning about this. Let's look again. And were you Maru? Yep. So it's a 13 pointer and sunk by, I think this is a Dutch torpedo. And it's a pretty nice cargo ship. So it even can carry fuel. So yeah, we'll take it. Decent speed for 37 anti-aircraft. That's pretty good. It's better than our starting cargo ships. All right, so that's that. Yeah. So these guys, ooh, where'd they go? Here. These guys are still holding on for what it's worth, and not much else is happening in China. My guess is one of the things he's waiting for. I did see him moving here earlier before we got rudely interrupted from our bombing raids. That it looked like these guys were heading west, so I'm assuming that's still the case. But I'm wondering if, as soon as he opens this, as soon as he destroys that, and he's moving this way, a lot of these guys that are lined up here are going to be shuffled around to go in particular directions to, knock us around. So I just think honestly, I think he's just setting the stage and preparing. These guys aren't long for this world, this E world. Um, I don't know if this makes sense, but I'm trying to bring him around to connect with our troops down here. Somehow they get supplies through the jungle up into here, and these guys would like to join them and take advantage as well. Um, Likewise, we have these guys trying to get out of the jungle, or trying to get back to Port Moresby very slowly but surely. Uh, our base force is moving a lot slower than our infantry battalion. Um, and then these guys looks like they're as out as they're going to be. And this switched. Oh, never mind. This is still picking up troops, so I'm going to leave it for now and hope to pick up the last of those troops. Yeah, be nice to wrap that mission up. Like I say, the biggest thing I wanted this base force for was the aviation support, because I want as much as I can get here. And as soon as this is flipped to the main unit, I'm gonna put replacements on and get this back up to what it should be at, which I believe is about 16. Because so that's another 12. That's like basically half a squadron worth, at least half an American squadron, about a British squadron size. But yeah, so I don't know the size of either of these. So my the battleship will take a while to get up here. My amphibious force will not get up here anytime soon. So what I'd like to do is, I think I'm still going to hit this because this is jungle. This is jungle rough. This, because he has a guy here, will be harder to take. And I'm not going to bomb this anymore. One of the reasons I bombed it is just to kind of throw him off. I don't think it probably didn't do that, have the effect I wanted. But also, I'm going to flip back to airfield attack and just hit this again. Um, there's no point in bombing these guys or these guys, because if I can take this base, then it's moot and everybody's out of supply. I don't see a marker showing him moving, but at the same time, it's quite possible I just didn't get a good enough look. And when I move my cursor over here, it doesn't tell me my detection level. So I'll just recon it again and just make sure we got it selected correctly. Yeah. So we're okay there. I am very disappointed in these. Oh, okay. So one of the things is it's raining, heavy rain. I think it was storm last turn. Our bombers just aren't flying here, and the weather is the culprit, and there's nothing I can do about that. I it is what it is. I would if I could. So, um, but yeah, I might have to split these into two different ASW task forces, and then we will follow our amphibious because I don't know if it's going to start heading out. I mean, see, I don't think this means anything, but if this task force starts heading out, I don't want this to be in surface combat mode. I can't do ASW. Well, it's too big of a group, so I'll have to break it up and do that. So partial cloud, extreme overcast. This should be targetable. I think we'll be okay bombing Kumak this turn. I mean, I think it's going to happen. And also, I will be bringing these into the action probably in one turn. Hopefully, not too early. This is kind of a very important timetable that everything needs to connect just in just the right way. This needs to get hit hard by bombardment, which reminds me, before I forget, and this is another reason why I'm not sure about how aggressive I want to be with my through my carrier forces because clicking the wrong thing because I want to do surface combat. Grab a couple of these and a couple of these. We don't need to take everything out, just the heavy cruisers. And we're gonna meet this guy and merge. So we're gonna get everything we can into the action here, and bombard with battleship. One battleship, unfortunately, we only have, and some light cruisers. I may even let the destroyers have join in the fun. And these carriers, I may wait until the last second, go over here, like 7 hexes away, let them hit this, and then the turn after that, just head right straight to Sydney without any, like maybe even full speed, without thinking twice. So a lot of decisions are going to be made in the very next turn, what we're going to do in this area right here. The this guy, he made it safe and sound, fortunately, barely. We're going to disband him. And now we have some extra aviation support going here. So we shouldn't have too much problems with our Catalinas being able to operate. And so I really wanted to make that happen, and so I'm thankful for that. That guy came from wherever, but came down to Brisbane, sat here for a while, and then we looped around, and then finally ended up here. So it's had quite the journey, and we have some pretty cool activity going here. So as soon as the amphibious force leaves, we're going to be dumping tons of troops in here. Speaking of which, okay, the Marine Division, regiment, has been completely loaded. Okay, so what that means is it's only loading supplies right now. Okay, so the troops are full. There's no more troops to put on these ships. Um, so yeah, I have to think about what that implies. To me, I think I'm just going to leave it as is because then they can finish loading supplies and start heading out. It'll probably be half of the day they'll load up, so they'll have half ops usage and start heading out. Maybe a little bit, maybe even less than half ops used up. I mean, so they might get like whatever the speed. So 3-3, they might get 3 or 4 hex. They might get up into here. Um, yeah, which means that we might have to pick up some speed here with these guys. Um, Okay. So, hmm, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So that's a turn and a half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's one turn. Boom. So I think it's going to be half a turn and be up into here, and then the beginning of the next turn. Wow, this is challenging because I don't want to get too ahead of I don't want to get too ahead of myself here and have this guy up here exposed to who knows what, because I'm sure he has air units up in here that he can just fly down at a moment's notice. So I feel like I need to think about this for a minute. I'll do this offline. I'll maybe what I'll do is keep it from leaving. Tell it to stay here. Do not unload. I don't want to do not unload because then if I forget to say unload and I don't know, I just that makes me nervous kind of. uh, did he spot any of our ships? Okay, it's no, yeah. He spotted a few of our task forces. So he's got his eye down here already. So it won't be a surprise if I start heading up. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm going to process this because I'm thinking if I go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I tell it to go here and don't move, remain on station, he may just look and see a task force heading this way and not know, oh, it's going to go up here and then invade. So this this may be a sneaky way of doing what I want to do because it'll just say moving west. It'll be here. It won't look conspicuous at all, right? I just I mean it could be heading to Brisbane, he's not going to know. So I think that's the play. In fact, I could even have it go all the way to here, remain on station. That's what I'll do. Because then it'll still be the same 6 hexes up here. That's what I'll do exactly. So I'll say as soon as you're loaded, go here. Let's just do that now. Remain on station. Unload is fine because I don't want to mess that up. Forget the waypoints, although I think they clear automatically when I do this one. Let's see. I think I can go here. Okay. That was weird. For a second, I thought it went like up here and then down. Okay, I think that's going to be good. It'll look like he's heading to Brisbane, and then next turn I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and start unloading. I don't like that because then it's unloading at the end of the turn and not at the beginning. But he shouldn't be able to attack, although he might do a bombardment. But with some of the air stuff that we're going to be hitting him with, he's probably not going to. It's probably not going to be pleasant. So I'm not going to worry about covering this because here's what's going to happen. If he flies some bombers here to hit our ships, what's going to happen is this may bombard, and the ships will be here and then I'll have cap right over here, and so everything should be in place such that if he's going to bring bombers in here and bomb, he'll have to fight over his own hex with our fighters tangled up in there. So I think we're going to be okay. Plus, another thing that occurred, or I'm remembering, is the air capacity is 1. So even medium bombers, he'd have to bring really light bombers and not very many of them. Anyway, I think this is going to play out very interestingly and nicely. Even if it's an epic fail, I think it's kind of a fun experiment. I don't want to use this game 100% as a learning tool just to say, well, okay, I learned something from that for next game. I also want to actually perform well. So hopefully this comes off in a positive way. So with that said, I think I'm going to wrap up here. There's not much else to talk about. I mean, we did bomb here, but that's not worth talking about. I was trying to get my A-24s to bomb ships that were sitting here, but they didn't fly the last 2 turns, most likely weather. And so we're wasting these planes that are not going to be here in the middle of in just 10 days, less than 10 days. So it's a shame, but what can I do? I can't control the weather in real life, and not in this game. So thanks for watching, being part of this, and I enjoy presenting it, and having this video for others to hopefully learn from, critique, enjoy, make fun of. However you like to watch this video. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. And until next time, take care of yourselves.